there, YouTube. Welcome to the Slot channel. There's a new video out by Jaiden Animations, so we are going to be getting in and enjoying it thoroughly. I mean, who doesn't enjoy a good bit of Pokemon? And by the sheer power of editing, we are ready to go. So sit back, chat, let's enjoy I think this actually might be the first time we've actually managed to catch a Jaiden animation on the day of it launching, so this is gonna be fun.
But a while back, Jacob and their team created a little something called Pokemon Too Many Types.
What?
It's just a normal game of Pokemon Emerald, but you might notice some things are just a little bit...
Wait, did you know that we have a Discord and a Twitch? No? Well, now you do. So what are you waiting for? Why don't you click those little links over there and be part of the fun? Just like the rest of us cool kids, you know what I'm saying? Isn't it hysterical that the best Pokemon content these days is the shit that Pokemon themselves aren't making? Just gonna put it out there, Nintendo. If your community have to fix your games and make them fun for their own purposes, maybe it's just a sign that some innovation and, you know, going outside the box is required. And I should probably stop talking about this before Nintendo decide to sue me.
Different. Everyone has talked about how chaotically fun this game is.
God, like how many different variations of Pokemon are there now?
Let me
Those
tell
like
you,
fan version
everyone
games.
was right. This was the most insane
Nuzlocke challenges, which we'll probably end up watching more of soon.
I've had in quite some time. Professor Birch is being mauled by a
See,
dog
if I
in
was
the grass
offered
right
to just play Pokemon for the sake of playing Pokemon, wouldn't care. Playing Pokemon with these fun little events and modded versions, hell yeah.
For you see
now this makes Pokemon look entertaining.
Silly. Obviously, I blast the Angie Poochiana to smithereens, and with that, have...
Wait a minute. So we have emotions as the Pokemon elements? Okay, do we have ADHD? Do we have depression? Do we have every spectrum of neurodivergency? Because if we do, oh dear, this is gonna get wild real quick. I can see it now. The Pokemon with kleptomania, holding every single HM item imaginable, or the autistic Mr. Mime trying to tell you about their entire day and not knowing when to stop miming.
I've now earned the freedom to explore the world on my own.
Maybe I will have to play some modded Pokemon at some point. These do look like a lot of fun.
Yep, it's dawning on me that I have no idea how anything works anymore.
Either that, or those funny little fan games where you get to make your own Pokemon by merging them.
Moves I've never seen before. Types don't line up the way I'm familiar with. It genuinely felt
Holy
like
shit,
I was
groundbreaking, revolutionary Pokemon
stuff. For the very first time again. Weasel is Water Fluffy. Snom is Ice Bean. Machop is fighting Stinky. Poplio, give that thing a shower. It reeks. That's super effective. I suppose that makes a lot of sense. Going into this game...
Pretty sure that's the category of the average Twitch viewer as well. Let's be real. I'm pretty sure most terminally online idiots would be super weak to a shower. It's called hygiene, guys. It's not optional.
I decided not to look at the type chart at all, which, by the way, looks like this. I'm gonna have to, unfortunately...
Hold the fucking phone! Okay, I said that this looks entertaining. If I have to get a goddamn physics degree in Excel spreadsheets to be able to play your game... Oh my god. Yeah, no, maybe we don't play this. I don't know if do I look like the kind of person that's literate to you?
Like this. I'm gonna have to unfortunately use my brain and logic to figure out how to win every single battle until I'm the champion.
Just go ham.
Which
just pull the
may
ripcord.
Be a bit trickier than you would even guess. For example, this Impidimp. He has now been turned into a dark gamer Uno reverse type. Naturally.
What? Oh, that's wild. That actually makes it look funny.
I figured gamer might work similarly to the stinky type and be weak to water. That makes sense, right? All right, well, look, I didn't make the game.
Nah,
right,
I ain't the dark gamer stinky type. I'm the
Let's see what gamer has to say against
cringe,
water type.
stinky,
Take a shower.
sweaty type.
What?
Yeah.
It's got what?
So here's the logic you got to think about. Not only is it a gamer type, it is an Uno reverse gamer type.
Oh.
so it's the gamer type that actually has an
Oh.
income?
Of course.
Yeah, as much as I might think I know how things would work, you're gonna witness that it doesn't always pan out the way it seems. I scooped myself up a Krabby,
I
which,
see.
as you can see,
Yes, no, this is exactly the mindset you must have with being a content creator. Always keep them guessing. Because if they don't know what your next move is, they'll never know whether they need to ban you or not. Surprise! Penis everywhere!
is no longer water type, and entered the Rustboro Forest only to be challenged by a Team Aqua Grunt with a single Snow Runt. I wasn't worried until I realized the hard way that despite its silliness,
So this is
Poplio
basically
still doesn't
every
like
best
grass,
part of
and
every
crabs
Pokemon mod
don't
ever.
mix well with ice.
Randomizer,
Wiping this
extra
early
elements.
in a Pokemon game
Thank you for the resub.
is genuinely so humbling. And I don't like it at all. Honestly, I didn't even want to tell you that it happened in the first place, but we run it back because this isn't a Nuzlocke, and my little pets are perfectly healthy after being dunked on. This time,
Imagine
we sent
running
the
a
grunt
Pokemon game not as a
hightailing it back into
Nuzlocke.
the bushes. Despite
Albeit you
feeling
can tell
dumb
that,
and
Jaiden's had
stupid
some
and pathetic
PTSD.
for wiping
Nah, it
to a
wasn't
level
10-10.
9 Team Aqua Grunt with one Pokemon, I waltzed into the first gym with my chest out like I earned being there. As most of you know,
Jaiden, for the love of all that is holy, my darling, please watch what you say. The internet has already made way too much or way too little Rule 34 about your Freudian slips. You can't just say with my chest out and not expect everybody to capitalize.
no, Roxanne is typically a rock type
Legitimately.
trainer, but she's
Completely unrelated. If there were awards for certain things within the content creation sphere, Jaiden might have the achievement for most Rule 34 of a content creator.
now studied the ways of the ancient type Pokemon, which
No,
I
solid.
didn't
Thank you
think
for
would
following.
be much different until she completely steamrolled me.
Oh shit. I got Doggy, but Doggy isn't gonna do too much here. God damn it. Waste of a turn. No! Well,
Yeah.
Well, Leap is
Yeah,
crazy.
everything you
Sus
know has
ancient
gone down the
grass
pan.
type? How was I supposed to predict that one? What even is that? Now aware of the threat she had in her
In
back
no
pocket,
roundabout
I was
ways.
able to
This is
navigate
just
the rematch
cursed
with
Dark Souls,
Krabby,
but
the
instead it's
fossil
cursed
killer,
Pokemon.
earning us our very first
That's what this
gym
is. It's
badge.
cursed
also,
Pokemon.
Geodude is boring, ugly rock. I just wanted to share.
Boring, ugly rock. Pretty sure that describes every Twitch streamer that's tried to make something of themselves, but their personality type is plain, to say the least. And that spicy to them would be considered habanero.
Share that one with the room. We took a nice boat ride over to Dewford where we got to meet lots of new friends in the local cave like Clink, the Prime Steel guy,
the hell
and
is that?
Samurai, the gamer, who has a little bit of an Easter egg attached to it.
Someone just pointed something out. Okay, will you trade? Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
god.
Will you move? Yep.
Huh?
You see the acronym right there.
Oh god! Oh god, it's Five Nights at Freddy's! Oh god! Oh no! It's a conspiracy! Five Nights at Freddy's collab with Pokemon collab confirmed? I mean, guys! Seriously, are you that terminally online? Get a goddamn life. There's not a Five Nights at Freddy's conspiracy in every single thing you see. Unless... Yo, can we get MatPat in here? Yo, MatPat, we got Five Nights at Freddy's up in Pokemon. Is that confirmed? Well, that's just a theory. A cringe theory.
After saying hi and bye to Steven doing who knows what all alone with his cave rocks, we headed off to challenge Brawly. I
Hey, they're
opened
just
the
pretty
gym
rocks.
doors
I like
and
playing
was
with rocks. Some kids play with
immediately
Barbie,
hit
some
with a
kids play with
wall of
Action Men.
pure
I play with rocks.
Disgusting stench. Trying not to
Ew.
physically decay, we crawled through the gym's maze and were
Oh.
met by Stink Master Brawly and his smelly ass team. Krabby knocked his Mankey out cold, but Sock came out and started overwhelming my Pokemon
What the hell is
one
that?
after the other.
What is that
Someone's
Pokemon?
knowledge.
Why
Oh my
is that just a
God.
Pokemon wearing a judo outfit? when they were coming up with these types, do you think that they were just looking up memes and were like, how can we make that an element type? Like, what categorizes these nuts as an element? Like, what makes D's nuts unique enough to make it strong against other? Like, how do you actually figure this out, right? Like, it's all hee hoo funny, but how do we make that mechanically work? And yet, I guarantee you, with all these meme element types, this would still be far more entertaining to play competitively than modern Pokemon.
Like, why wouldn't it be?
So you can imagine I am not happy that this stupid thing is sweeping my team right now.
It's most effective
Luckily, the
against your
Vulpix I
mom.
caught
I'm pretty sure your mom is an element type as well, so you're actually probably correct.
earlier was able to tank its hits with its new fluffy
Pulls out
type,
Jinx,
and together
element
with our
type,
own little
your mom.
stinker of a Stunky, we were able to finish the fight.
What the fuck is that? Why does it have a butt for a face? Why is its face just an ass with a... Why? Why? Why is it got an ass for a face? Why is there a butterfly? Why? What in the cracked up game design?
I snatched that badge from Brawly's greasy hand and basically swam to Slateport myself to wash the fumes off my clothes. To dissociate that disgusting experience
First game
away,
ever
I
take
went
to take
and
a
caught
shower.
myself a new friend, a ground friend to be specific. As
You can't
well as
just
a
use
little
because
fluffy
Stimkey
stuffle.
to explain.
We also got to kick out Team Aqua, who was holding the poor Slateport museum lady hostage with a gun. Thank God they were only armed with a harmless water gun horsey, because I do not want to know what dealing with an actual...
This does beg the question. At what point does anyone in the Pokemon world just pull out a gun? Oh, right, they're not going to do that because they're too afraid that Pal World will sue them. See, now the shoe's on the other foot. Pokemon can never put guns in their game because Pal World will then say, we did that first. You guys could have put guns in Pokemon whenever you wanted. But no, you weren't cool like that. We had to do that for you.
threatening gun-type Pokemon would even look like. Battling more trainers on the route up to Mauville got me back into the mood to take on the third gym, so I shoved Wally out of the way.
You may be out of Pokemon,
and
but you're
headed
not
up to
out of
Watson.
options.
Things started off normal, but quickly spiraled out of control because after Sableye beat up his Porygon, Watson immediately brought out his ace. You know, his
Another
famous
Porygon.
star Pokemon, Whimsicott. And this thing just starts
Why do they all have Twitch icons on them? Are they gamers?
spamming its new move called Hype Train. Yep, Watson specializes in
Yes, I have been subject to Hype Train on a number of occasions. It certainly is critically effective against wallet-type Pokemon, such as myself.
type Pokemon, which would definitely be a funny little hint, nudge, nudge if I was streaming this on Twitch, but alas, here we are. Unfortunately, one cannot gift Prime subs to a YouTube channel. Sadly,
Unless...
all you can do is click the subscribe button.
Shame.
Isn't that just a shame?
I know,
Well, whether you
right?
click the button or not, I got wrecked by this cotton ball. Hype Train works the same as Rollout,
Ooh,
where each
that's how music.
consecutive use gets stronger and stronger. Whimsicott must have had some sort of aimbot on because it didn't miss a single one.
Huh?
It literally demolished my team the second it stepped onto the battlefield. I was also a bit unprepared and forgot.
Yeah, this would be the equivalent of playing a Dark Souls randomizer and the Asylum Demon at the beginning being replaced with Melania. Yeah, imagine that.
To level everyone up. So let's just forget that fight even happened. Like, it wasn't even fair, so it doesn't count. Round 2 was where the real action was. This battle was much more neck and neck. Knowing what Watson's tactics were going into the fight, I was able to play around it much more easily. Jaiden doesn't fall for...
Man, you can't be showing that kind of stuff. You're making me anxious. Oh, is that an attack, actually? Oh, in this game mode, I'd imagine that would be an attack. Psychological warfare. Pikachu used anxiety. Pikachu started talking about taxes.
for the same charade more than one time. I'm like an AI learning machine, alright? I never lose the same fight don't stop. No, don't look at that. With Watson defeated, I was now one step closer to becoming the strongest trainer
did it,
in
Jaiden!
all of this topsy-turvy.
Damn, she's clearly not got. She's clearly conquered her ADHD to get through this without getting sidetracked.
Smack the Team Magma nerds around while heading to Lava Ridge. To avoid another embarrassing under-leveled situation, I got everyone up to Flannery's.
I don't know, Jaiden. That sounds like a lot of "you're a pussy" to me to kind of talk. Underleveled or gotta get good mode? Just saying. No such thing as underleveled, just more of a challenge.
Level cap for a nice, clean.
Easy for me to
fight.
say.
That's like.
Is that
I think
fucking
the thing
Mr.
that is
Krabs?
hardest for me. Oh god, reading comprehension. I think that's what I've decided.
Mr. Krabs,
My
what
God.
inspired you to evolve?
My crabs.
Gym badges.
Buddy. Holy shit!
Yeah.
What is the downside of this mystic fire? I'm just so weak to fire. And warm hugs. Do I have
Aw.
to wipe to every gym?
The one weakness of Term and the Online Idiots. Actually, no, the one weakness of streamers. Parasocial affection. Ugh. Yeah, no, I'd faint instantly too. Especially if it's from a sexy fox lady.
She's mean.
I don't know what that Ninetales is eating, but that thing is not normal. After changing absolutely nothing about my strategy and just running back into the gym directly from the Pokemon Center, I demanded a rematch. Like, her team of fluffy
Dormammu,
Pokemon
I've come to
aren't
negotiate.
that tough. I just wasn't ready to paralyze and incinerated the whole fight
Like,
by her
between
puppies
every
and
wipe,
kitties
you've got to
and
take
that
some time to give your
roided up monster of a
Pokemon
Ninetales.
some head
This
pats,
time,
some loving and
Kingler
affection,
Sandslash were
and maybe a
able
little
to double
tweet.
team
Little
Flannery's
tweet.
fluffy team with much more ease, earning us the Heat Badge. With half the gyms now defeated, it was finally time to
Do I wanna know
with
my
some
type?
long
I already know my type.
overdue
Cringe.
family matters.
The only element
It's
I'd ever
well
abide by.
known that our father Norman abandoned our home to be a gym leader in Petalburg, leaving me and mom back.
He didn't
at the
just go
house
for cigarettes, he
alone.
went to
Little
become
Root has like
free.
5 people living in it, and one of them's a huge nerd. That's like a social death sentence for a growing child, and I am filled with a burning desire for justice. After all this time, all those days of having nothing to do.
Can you say childhood trauma? When are we gonna all acknowledge the fact that every main protagonist to a Pokemon game are just traumatized kids with a vendetta against very absent parents? Shame.
But watch Birch go into the same stupid patch of grass and get mauled by the same
Yeah,
stupid
Dad,
dog
I'm gonna come kick her out. I think
over and
Emerald was
over
probably the
and
best
over.
example of that,
I
actually.
get to walk into Norman's gym and challenge him as an equal. Whatever reasoning he had to leave us is gonna be revealed in our battle. And it better be good. I walked through the doors. The air was weird.
Better be good.
Tense. Each trainer
Better be
I
more than
battled
just,
looked at me like
the
they
superiority
already
complex.
knew exactly who I was and shifted
Better be more than just, I went for milk and got distracted. Better be more than just ADHD incarnate.
their glance away out of embarrassment, shame. What is going on here? Not even the helpful gym guy had anything to say to me. He wouldn't even tell me the type theme of the gym. I burst through those final doors to find Norman looking out his windows at the horizon. He's been
Did he become a streamer? Is that why? Is he trying to prove that he's better than his daughter? There better be. Oh boy.
for me.
All right, you ready to fight Norman and his very fun and normal gym? Have you not picked up on it yet?
I haven't picked up on anything.
Is it abandonment type
What is he gonna
Pokemon?
do? What Pokemon do he have? Floatzel? Okay.
Uh-huh.
I don't
No.
get it. What is...
Did he become a furry? Did he leave because he became a furry? Oh no.
this riddle?
I'm just watching.
Glomp? Is it because
Oh,
he's only using a
Have I guessed it? Did I guess it in one?
attacks that are cute and family-like?
No.
Lopunny.
Oh.
He can't be a fluffy trainer. That was what Flannery
He
was.
became a furry!
Little Flam.
He
No,
straight up became a
fluffy
furry!
He said, is he a furry trainer?
Based! Absolutely based! Yeah, sure, why not? furries abandoning their kid, grown parents abandoning their kids to become a furry so they can embrace the childhood they've always wanted. Yeah, we like this is the world we live in. We are living in a world where terminally online kids have now grown up, had kids, realizing that they want to go back in time, but can't because they have kids, so they decide to leave, become a furry, so they can embrace that childhood humor they've always wanted to and realize that they're not actually growing old and having an existential crisis.
Yes.
He literally left his wife and kids so he can start a family with the Pokemon. There's no rule against the Pokemon, Batman.
Norman.
Can't a man have hobbies?
Norman.
Look, there's nothing wrong with being a furry. Many of my friends are furries, but
Yes. Nothing wrong with being a furry. Until it is. Now, I'm not a furry, but I need to remind you that furries sometimes are people too. And furries have their needs. It's just their needs are a lot more extravagant than most of ours.
to abandon your family to selfishly pursue your passion for Lucarios and Vaporeons and
Can
Lopunnies.
you blame him?
Norman, how could you?
Why would you want boring human when thick Lopunny thighs? Really, your dad has never been more based. You are being outbasted by... I'm going to rephrase that. You are being out-cooled by your dad.
You tore
Just 'cause you have a
family
cool dad.
apart. And for what? Glomps and colon threes? Admittedly, his team was
Oh
too
no,
strong
he had a
for me. The
Vaporeon!
bond he shared with those
Oh god, he's one of those kind of... Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Pokemon was unlike anything I've seen yet, and I was gonna have to go back to the drawing board if I was ever...
If anything, this does work as a very good metaphor for furries in real life. Furries you might think are cringe. And sure, they might be. Furries might be not the most, wanted of sorts. We may not like them. We may not want them. But my god, we are shackled to them. If every furry in the known universe suddenly just disappeared up with a Thanos snap moment, we would be sent back to the prehistoric era. Technology everywhere would disappear. The entire Eastern, Western, and European seaboards would become lost in a technological recession.
We're gonna defeat a divorced man and his beloved furries. I switched around some of my Pokemon.
May not
headed
like it, but
back
it's
in,
true.
And again began the onslaught of
They are a
devastating
necessary evil of
glumps
this
and
universe
cuddle
for us to
slams,
exist.
weaving through paralyzing warm hugs and even the occasional cute charm. Eventually, it came down to our last Pokemon.
Go on, Stabby! Fuck him
okay.
up!
Slash.
Oh no!
Oh.
No! Shadow Sneak, please.
No, you have a chance here.
Please.
Yes! Hey,
Now that
good
my
job.
furry father has been vanquished,
Today on 3 story arcs that I didn't see coming in a Pokemon franchise.
I was filled with an overwhelming energy and drive. It was like I unlocked a version of myself that was capable of defeating
Beating the
anyone
Pokemon,
and
beating the
everything
furry
in front of
Pokemon
me.
trainer
I beat up all of Team
certainly
Aqua
does
that
help
was
you level up to
infiltrating the
Super Saiyan
Weather
level 4.
Institute,
Now,
cleared
no one
Winona's
can beat you.
song and dance gym without
But wait, what's that? The one fandom more powerful than the furries. You hear that? The final boss is approaching. And they believe that friendship is magic.
breaking a sweat. Maxie stole the blue orb to awaken Groudon like an idiot, so I had to teach him a lesson. Again.
You're gonna use the wrong orb, idiot. Why do you think the blue orb
Ponder
would
those
be good
orbs,
for
you
Groudon?
bitch.
He hates blue.
Team Aqua rats did the exact same thing, so I had to do the exact same thing to them. I was on a roll. It felt like I was back in my element.
Yes.
Finally
Going out to prove
familiar
something to your
with the
father and
types,
inadvertently
was
saving the known
absolutely
galaxy.
thriving.
Perfect.
We pulled up
Average
to Tate
teenage
Liza's
experience.
gym, ready to let nothing slow us down, except It looks like they specialize in a type I hadn't seen up until this point. Space.
Guys, I'm not saying that Pokemon are aliens. No, wait, they are, aren't they? No, canonically, Pokemon are aliens, right? Yeah, never mind. Never mind.
Time to slow down.
Space!
Since I didn't have anything that could really handle space
Pokemon Space Program.
I went and caught myself a Bouffalon because everyone knows Ohio type is good against space. I mean, come on. As well as
It would have been more appropriate if it was Florida type, because at least NASA is out in Florida.
prepared sand
God,
slash and
Ohio
Stunky
type
for the fight.
Pokemon.
I wasn't
God,
too
that's
confident,
priceless.
but made my way to the gym leader's room to find Clay.
Huh?
Where's Tate and Liza? Aren't you supposed to be a new Nova? I wasn't anticipating this, but I guess I should just start expecting the unexpected from this game.
You should have figured this out when you realized it was Ohio type Pokemon. Yeah, brother, I guess you're gonna be fighting some good old Ohio power right now. Maybe from Ohio, but you're gonna be Ohio out of here, baby.
It's a double. Okay, it's still a double battle. 41.
I'm gonna follow that.
We definitely lose.
Gun type?
This is in space? Wait, what the f is going on here?
So
I
that
don't know
comment
what's
I
good
made
against
earlier
gun.
about
That is a
guns.
song. Sure, we'll
This
just
game
do that.
solves it.
Shoot!
Oh
What the?
my god.
He just
They're a gun type, but they're clearly high caliber. Get it? High caliber? Get it?
shot
Gun type, high caliber?
my
Yeah.
Goyle. He shot my guy again. That's so much damage for not very effective.
So, what Pokemon type would you have to get to be strong versus a gun type Pokemon? Stinky type?
I'll do that. Oh, he's dead. He's just so dead. Bare
Straight up
arms?
blasted.
God, what is this? Dude, this guy's fighting me with the
May not be by the
Constitution.
power of my
isn't
Pokemon
actually a
and these
space-type
guns that I
gym
gave
like I was
them.
originally
You
led
shall
to
be
believe.
vanquished.
This is, in fact,
Literally
a
plagiarizing
gun gym,
Pal World at
and
this
I am
point.
being blasted to Kingdom Come by Mr. Red, White, and Blue over here. I failed to expect this level
Yeehaw,
of unexpected, but how could I? We switched around my team.
This guy might legitimately be the most ingenious Pokemon trainer that's ever existed. Because at what point wouldn't you decide that a gun was the actual answer to solving problems in this scenario?
Again, this time
The only
for a
limitation has
high-noon duel
been,
battle, headed
well,
back in, but honestly, it
Pokemon
wasn't
themselves.
looking that great
Nintendo.
on attempt 2 of fighting a man with assault weapons.
And air cutter again.
Is there a British type Pokemon that all have knives?
No! Take it, boys. Take it. Ah! Stop! How can you do this? There's nothing I can do about it.
And
There's
you can't,
nothing
and won't.
This fight
Suffer,
sucks
suffer, Jaiden.
balls.
Suffer the misery that the rest of the world has to deal with knowing that Ohio exists.
Whatever.
I genuinely think this clay fight was the most out of left field, chaotic, flabbergasting Pokemon battle I've gone through in my entire career as a Pokemon player. I don't think anything Pokemon could
wild saying you have a
create would ever
career as a
elicit
Pokemon
the
trainer.
kind of shock and despair I felt fighting Clay.
If you could
the
tell
Driftvale gym
12-year-old
leader in my
Kari
Pokemon
that you
Emerald
could have been
game.
a,
Okay,
a professional
I don't think this
Pokemon
is
trainer
enough.
growing up,
Yeah,
they would have
I just-
laughed at
Oh,
you.
he went against
Bill
our-
said, "Can I be one?"
That's so lucky. Oh? Is this it?
Did they win?
Yes!
You
Clay,
did it! You beat the gun!
rootin' fucking asshole. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Get me out of here.
I basically crawl out the gym with my badge like I just got out of a fight with Wile E. Coyote, because I basically did. And now I gotta go deal with whatever commotion Team Magma is creating on the space station. I walk up the stairs to
Oh, she
Maxie
mad
and
now.
Steven arguing about God knows
Nothing
what at
worse,
this
but
point.
nothing more
Girls,
scary than a
I'm gonna
Pokemon
get it
enjoyer
to you
that's
straight.
angry.
I'm having a bit of a day. We all know we're just gonna hash this out in a battle, so let's just cut the chit chat. Steven, get your ass over here. And after all of what I just went through, you guys are not going to believe what Steven put me through in that cursed space center. Yeah.
Oh my god, that face.
put me through.
What a
in that
perfect face. Oh, okay. You know what we're doing. Yes! Yes! Now you two can dread the day that this emote appears in my streams. Oh! Perfect. Amazing. Anyway.
Maxie and friend were packing, so that was a bit of an unfortunate disadvantage. It's all right, we run it back.
Thank you, Jaiden,
but
for once again providing
this
us
is where things go
delightful content for me to salvage for myself.
downhill.
Hyper voice.
Ooh, double Ninetales.
Steven!
Pretty sure your dad would have
You're just
enjoyed this
leaving
fight.
me in the trenches? Why even try at this point? Thunder? Oh,
Guess
my
your dad
fucking
wouldn't have
God,
dreaded
Steven,
this like you
idiot.
did.
Why do they only go against me? Why do they only go against me?
Because you a bitch. They can
Steven.
smell
Steven,
bottom.
you're the fucking Elite Four champion.
Actually, no,
of
bottom
Hoenn.
energy. They can
Don't
smell
use
bitch.
thunder
Yeah,
on
they can smell bitch.
Aggron.
There you go.
It doesn't. It in no
Haha,
world is it
phraseology.
ever good. I swear to God, Steven. You're actually.
Jaiden, this really is more on you. But let's face it. How did you not expect to get absolutely rammed by somebody called Steven?
You're actually joking.
Steven, you're my guy. I've always had your back. I've been Team Steven since day one. But what in
Steven!
the world was that? This is not the playstyle of the region champion, buddy. Get up. Don't talk to me. I need some air. To blow off some much-needed steam, I infiltrated Team Aqua's hideout because Archie apparently
casually,
didn't get the memo
as a
of my threat
teenager.
of a knuckle sandwich
Espionage.
if he ever tried to use bread on blue Kyogre. Knuckle sandwich is delivered, but unfortunately, too late. Kyogre is already halfway across the Pacific Ocean to go drown Groudon. Can any of you adults do anything right?
No.
Hello? Earth to Archie's brain.
Something happened when they were modding Pokemon. All the brain cells that they once had been turned into Pokemon types. Clearly.
Hollow! I scaled the
Like
Sky
me.
Tower to wake up Rayquaza and rat on the siblings, duking it out in the middle of Sutopolis. Off he flew,
Oh,
and after
God.
a bit of non-gentle parenting, the two slinked back in their rooms in shame. Yay! Land and sea across the
Casual
globe
legendary
are
Pokemon
safe
just sleep
once
out in the
again.
open for the world to
If I
see.
catch your asses playing with these fucking orbs again,
Dude,
I
okay,
swear.
straight up, I remember when I played this originally back in the day, because this was the last Pokemon game I played fully through before I got completely disenfranchised with Pokemon. I remember finding Rayquaza for the first time, and it actually, in a Game Boy game, scaring me. Back in the days where I was even more of a pussy than I am now. Like, coming across Rayquaza and seeing that shit, and being like, oh my god, that's a big old Pokemon. Oh my goodness. It was almost as scary as running across Mewtwo for the first time.
Even though it was the 8th and final gym before taking on the Elite Four, Juan wasn't an issue. For some competitors, he could have been difficult because he actually ran a full-on crab team. Very intimidating. But I've also got a crab. And my
Oh,
crab
no.
is stronger than his crabs. So we won. After all I've gone through, this was the hardest I've had to claw my way to the Elite Four.
Get it, guys? Do you get it? Do you get it? Claw your way back? Because crabs and claws? Oh, it's funny because it's funny. Ah.
In a long time. But that just means victory
Oh,
is
Jaiden,
gonna
never
taste
changed.
oh so much sweeter. I entered Victory Road anticipating an easy dungeon clear, but from the shadows emerged Wally.
Oh no.
I've beaten
Oh,
you before.
one of
I
those
can beat you again.
Pokemon.
Holy mother! Okay, maybe that one.
I swear, if your Pokemon element type is trans, I'm not sure whether I should get angry for cultural appropriation or insensitive theming.
Was a bit of a fluke. I wasn't ready. This time.
Again, thank you for the resub.
Turns out, Wally's tough. I didn't expect it, but he really is. This made me realize I'm not prepared for everything with my current roster of Pokemon, and if I'm gonna become the champion, I need to make some big changes. I've been swapping around my team pretty casually over the course of my adventure, but after locking in, I decided
Some kind of insensitive comment about trans-type Pokemon being weak to, real life, I guess? You got any real-life themed Pokemon? You got any, wait. Do you have any therapy-themed Pokemon?
decided on this as my final roster. Primarina, Kingler, Aegislash, Beware, and 2 new members of Darmanitan, the
Ew.
Angie Fire Monkey,
What's
and
that?
Duraludon, the, you
Ew.
guessed it, gun. Look, I've seen the power of being able to pull up with a gun. I think I'm gonna need that in the fights that are ahead of me. With these changes, I was able to rematch Wally and
Yeah, I don't think I even need to question the theme of those Pokemon. So obviously, the Pokemon type you use against them is Twitter comment or therapy themed Pokemon.
take home the win this time. This is it. These guys are my team, and they're the ones I'm gonna become the best with. While doing some final training before the Elite Four, there was just a little
Why
tiny
is the bear so
unexpected hiccup
thick?
along the way.
Oh my god.
What was that? Oh
Wait,
my
but-
Freddy, you would never.
Every time I think I've seen enough of this game, there's just another thing that makes me giggle like a little schoolgirl. Was that the Bite of 87?
Never. He
So
would
funny.
Never.
So
I have to
funny.
reach it too.
I'll get rid of Earthquake for Bite of 87.
So if there are any baby type Pokemon, Bite of 87 is going to be super effective.
5 Nights? What?
Oh my god.
What the?
It's Parish Song.
Oh my Freddy, what am I turning into? You're not like this, Freddy.
For those of you who are unaware, Five Nights is basically an unhinged version of Parish Song, where after 5 turns, both Pokemon on the battlefield are hit by a 250 base power attack.
I didn't realize this was going to suddenly turn into a Five Nights at Freddy's video. Hey, Jaiden Animations, just as a recommendation, if you wanted to pander to any other community other than Pokemon that may be a lower form of intelligence and life form than the Pokemon community, one that may be more or equally just as eager to see you pander to their every whims, make a video about Five Nights at Freddy's. I guarantee you they'd love it. Because they're so desperate for any kind of relevancy at this point that Daddy Scott Cawthon ain't giving them. They will be all over you, I assure you.
And
They're
Bite
like
of
an attention
87
adult
is
toddler
straight
that's
up
not being
a
given
brand
attention for more than
new
5 minutes.
One-hit KO move, where if you get bit, you die
Oh my
instantly.
God.
But there's only a 30% chance of it actually
Is that a
connecting.
Hatsune
High-risk,
Miku
high-reward
bird?
type move. Equipped with a plethora of new
Is Hatsune
threatening
Miku an
moves
element?
and mons, my team was now prepared for the final
Ah,
guard.
JoJo
I
reference.
flashed my badges to the guards and took a step into Sydney's domain. I like that look you're giving me. Let's have a good match. As someone once taught me,
Murder. You know, I've had just about enough of these Pokemon battles. I cast gun. Prepare to meet God.
you gotta be prepared for the gun. Phoebe was up next with her gamer Pokemon, and
Oh my
even though I
God.
was able to take down her team with my loaded Duraludon and shower-giving Primarina, the highlight of the fight was when she brought out a Freddy Fazbear of her own.
Huge win.
Where?
Oh, it's Freddy v Freddy.
So, Five Nights at Freddy's themed characters, their weakness is irrelevancy. Because that community is always constantly afraid that they're going to be made irrelevant. Goddamn.
It's gotta be Freddy v Freddy. And you know what Freddy does. Oh, he got the first one! He got it! That's my fucking
Was that the
Freddy
Bite of
right there.
87?
Doesn't miss. He hits that frontal lobe every fucking time.
I walked into Glacier's room.
Crunchy snack time.
Larry, the third fight was against Larry, who normally is a gym leader and Elite Four member in Paldea, but looks like he also works for Hoenn. Jeez, man, 3 full-time jobs? That cannot
Man,
be
who can
legal.
keep
You
track of the
gotta
plot
talk to
anymore?
HR. He led with a golem that
Clearly not
only
Nintendo
knew
at this
stealth
point.
rocks and explosion, which is chaotically hilarious.
To be fair, you know what the funny thing is? You could show somebody who'd never played a Pokemon game since Red and Blue this and say that this was just like canon Pokemon games and they would probably totally believe you. I mean, fuck, I almost thought that this was like just a modern Pokemon game at this point.
But right after that, he sent out a
Pokemon's kinda
wall of
wild.
a slacking that took out my Duraludon, Primarina, and Aegislash. Finally, Kingler was able to knock it out after pulling off a few dragon dances. Sorry, crab raves. Since I basically had a crab bazooka on my hands, Kingler just swept him from there.
Nice.
After the Larry jump scare, I didn't even know what to expect for the final member. It could
It's
genuinely
gonna
be
be
anyone.
some kind of bullshit.
Cynthia? Red? Clay butt again?
No one. You fight yourself.
No, you're joking.
Huh?
He's in the fucking vent.
Oh!
No!
My God! What is the fuck? Ah! Sus! Sus! Among Us! You're fighting Red.
I didn't know that's what happened when you click the vent from that side. I'll be honest.
Not only was I flashed,
God damn! Red caked up like a friggin' Saturday night out here. I can only imagine that all of his Pokemon are gonna be imposter stealth types.
for simply going about my E4 challenge, but Elite Four Sussy Baka and his sus team went dummy mode.
You see, everything up until now had been within the realm of understanding for Pokemon. I was not expecting the sudden cameo of a completely different franchise. Oh my God.
On me.
I'm scared, so I shoot. Oh no! Wait,
Oh.
this isn't good.
What's
This
next?
thing's
A
gotta
missing go?
No, he's faster. He's dead. What? I thought.
Sussy Baka don't give a damn.
No.
You think Sussy Baka came here to play by the
Where
rules?
is he? Ooh, nice crit.
Sussy Baka's just
No,
trying to
they
fight you in
all
Pokemon
went.
so he can sneak up behind you and stab you because you sus.
Another crab rave.
I do. No, he avoided it. No, Krabby, I'm sorry.
God, I'm actually gonna have to play this.
Ah!
I was not anticipating a battle where their whole strategy was to hide in vents scattered all over the room. And when they popped
Oh,
out,
this is like some kind of like nightmare fuel for a Pokemon player. Like someone at some point in the Pokemon world was sat there going, "Oh, I'm so glad I get to play Pokemon so I can get away from Among Us characters." Like that, those Among Us players, they some kind of different kind of nightmare. And then they wake up the next morning and this game exists and that all of their save data has been replaced with Among Us fights.
they hit like trucks. Not even my Five Nights attack could hit them in the vents, which meant I was just getting my own mons attacked by animatronics. Admit
To this point, you start playing the Metal Gear Solid theme. Dun 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 na na na. God, they've got active camo. Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around, but Sussy Baka's thick as shit.
we were vaporized. But shut
I'm
up!
straight.
There's nothing in the rules about trying again.
And it's not because
a
your
nuzzle.
Pokemon fainted,
I
it's because they
refuse
died of
to call it
cringe.
there because I will not let my legacy end with. Psst, hey, see that girl? She was on her way to become the next Hoenn champion, but she couldn't get past Elite Four member Sussy Baka.
But she couldn't pass the imposter check. She was voted out. I'm pretty sure I saw her venting too. The only way that this fight would be even better is when you beat them, there's a voting round. And unless you've managed to riz your way through, you then get voted out and ejected from the Elite Four. And not only do you get ejected, but it deletes your save. Like, it does an Undertale moment where, depending on how well you've done, how many Pokemon you've beaten, how many people you've interacted with, determines whether you are deserving of being allowed through, whether you passed the Sussy Baka check.
Poor thing. The second battle went much better because not only was I able to play around all the venting, but halfway through the
Yeah, Lily,
fight,
thank you for the
Kingler
five.
finally learned a better crab move. This whole time, I was being forced to use 50 base power Vice Grip, but now that we've got 100 base power Crab Hammer,
So, Among Us enjoyers out there, I've learnt your weakness. Crabs. Prepare to get crabs. That would be a bit shellfish of me. I wouldn't be clawed to see you suffer. I guess you could say that I'm a bit of a crustacean of an individual. Oh.
It was lights out for these imposters. And with that,
I'm sorry.
time.
I'll stop.
All that stood left in front of me was the champion, Wallace. Which makes sense because Steven was definitely fired after that.
Steven!
Out came his first Pokemon, which was a simple why not. Now let me explain something here because this thing is far more threatening than you could
Just bite of 87 it. Baby types are weak to the bite of 87.
ever believe. This game has introduced so many new types into the world of Pokemon. Many of them are extremely powerful, but there's one type that reigns amongst them all, the absolute worst. And that's Baby type. It's pretty
I was joking! I didn't realize that was an actual element type. What the
self-explanatory, which
I mean, to be fair, this makes this, like, I play my Pokemon games to get away from the real world. Introducing baby types as the actual hardest element in the game makes things way too real. Because babies are fucking horrifying in real life. Nobody wants to deal with the babies. Nobody wants to have to... This is why breed, no pregnate. Only breed, no pregnate. Remember that. That's how you beat the baby type.
Pokemon fall under the baby category. Igglybuff, Cleffa, Budew, Bonsley. Literally the baby Pokemon. You know what this type is weak to? Literally like all of them. Think about it. If you hit a baby with anything...
Oh, we are bordering the realms of dead baby jokes, and I do not like that. I do not like it. But it's funny because it's a video game, right, guys? Because satire, because humor. God, this suddenly just went very dark very quickly.
They're gonna be taking damage. It's a baby. So now you're probably thinking, okay, so why does the final boss of Hoenn lead with why not the baby type? It's also Uno reverse. That's right. Every single type effectiveness against this thing is now flipped. It's a defensive monster, just waiting to counter and mirror coat your whole team to death.
So he's God. You're straight up just fighting God right now. This is where people go when they get shot. This is what happens when somebody casts gun and they tell you to prepare to meet God. This is where you end up.
For simply breathing on it too hard. I was genuinely so scared of this thing, I dragon-tailed it out of there. That's a nightmare for another time. His Latias got dragged out, which is crazy to say I was relieved to see compared to that masochist of a why not. But of course, it's still a Latias. So it takes out my Duraludon with a single Thunderbolt. Kingler comes out to finish it off, so next came Silvally, which I'll just let you watch how this one played out.
I don't think I get past this thing. What even is this type? Type...
What? I don't think I've ever seen that Pokemon either. Looks like some weird, like, chimera of some kind. Naughty nature? Probably met at level 58. Ever... Huh? Memories check... I'm so confused by this Pokemon. What is it?
Emerald?
He's a type.
Type?
Type? I don't even know what that is, but it's gotta be weak to monkey.
So type is more of a modifier than anything. It just doubles all type interactions.
Oh shit.
So
okay, so I die here. What?
So here's a little glitch. Sometimes, let's say the max damage you can deal is 999.
Oh, this one.
Like TNT, thank you for the resub.
If the game registers you as
Try and
doing
listen.
more, it overflows into 1 HP.
Oh, you are... That moment your character is so strong, it oopsies and causes a syntax error. That's math, baby.
So, this is... Darmanitan died and came back to life, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, that
Oh, that's
gives
hysterical.
us enough time to Banana Blitz again.
Oopsie.
Yeah!
When you're so
We
strong,
take those.
you've
All right,
oopsied
nope, I don't
and
wanna
become
hear
the
it. We take
weakest.
those. The next chunk of the battle plays out pretty normally. Wallace did have some pretty scary Pokemon, including Steven's Metagross, he very likely lost custody of, until I was face to face with this stupid little bomb again. It tried every—
You know what this is? This is like dealing with Majora's Mask on your first... This is like... Going up against this thing would be like trying to complete Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask before you've had the chance to get the Ocarina. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. You're dealing with a metaphysical anomaly. This thing decides when the fight is over.
everything it could to bait my Aegislash into attacking it, but we stayed patient. I knew I had a single shot at this, so Aegislash charged up as many sword stances as it could muster before slicing that thing to the moon.
Literal spirit bombing the crap out of it.
A final beast entered the ring. A true abomination.
Let me guess. Something random?
Called Sans Shadid.
No! No, I'm done. I'm out. No, that's it. Fuck this. No, I'm sorry. You can't pull this shit out of your ass. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Dude, I went into this to watch something Pokemon related, and I didn't go into this to pay the meme tax. Oh, God.
Ninja. This is the only Pokemon in the Dex with the Sands type, and it can only be touched by a very small selection of types. A tried and true
Jeez.
nightmare.
No wonder.
Unfortunately for you,
We should have really seen this coming, right? The memes that we were dealing with, and then finally, if you'd been listening, the music that Jaiden had been playing up until this point. We really should have expected this.
Wallace, I've played the genocide route of Undertale. I know exactly what it's gonna take to bury this thing for good.
Hardcore leveling?
And he's right here.
Oh, okay.
It's a beautiful day, Sans Shadinja.
Oh my God, this animation.
Should be burning in hell.
Jaiden, you didn't have to go so hard on this animation. What the fuck? Sheesh. Okay, that was pretty sick. That was pretty sick.
I did it. The strongest Pokemon trainer in this wacky world of Hoenn.
At what point is it like the strongest trainer as opposed to you just got lucky and got some very strong Pokemon? Because like, yeah.
Is me. It took so much more than I thought it would to be here.
You became victorious, Jaiden. But what did it cost?
I lost a
What
lot
did
of
you
battles,
sacrifice to get
but
here?
Shut up! You try playing it then. With the power of friendship, logic, determination,
You know
and
what?
maybe just a
I will. If this video gets 50,000 views on my slop channel, I will play this live on stream. And I will prove that I can do it better than Jaiden. And then I'll send the video to Jaiden just to show them that I did. That's a promise. That's not just me gaslighting. That's a goddamn promise.
little bit of love. We've beaten Pokemon too many types.
And with that, we're pretty much wrapping up on 2024. This was a big...
This was good. This was really good. I love Jaiden stuff. It's like such a basic concept, but the way you sort of turn this into something humorous is just fantastic. I love this. Thank you, Jaiden, for your end-of-year humor and maybe making me make a promise that I'm going to regret inevitably. So yeah, guys, go watch the original, like the original, go subscribe to Jaiden if you haven't already. And I guess I will see you guys in the next video. And maybe this might be the last video before Christmas. So if that's the case, happy Christmas. Bye!